Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV on a very, very special day. Today marks a momentous occasion in Indian sports history. India has successfully won the right to host the 2023 International Olympic Committee session in Mumbai during the 139th IOC session in Beijing. Now, with a historic 99% of votes in favor and 75 IOC members endorsing Mumbai's candidature, the country's Olympic movement is stopping at nothing and going for glory. Now, the Indian delegation comprising India's first individual Olympic gold medalist Abhinav Bindra, IOC member Neeta Ambani, Indian Olympic Association President Dr. Narendra Batra, and Honorable Union Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs and Information and Broadcasting Minister Shri Anurag Singh Thakur made the successful presentation to IOC members held alongside the ongoing Winter Olympics in Beijing, a feat that we have achieved after 4 decades. Let's take a look at what India's esteemed delegation had to say on this special day.
My name is Abhinav Bindra, and it is a huge honor to represent the delegation from India for the right to host the IOC session in 2023 in the city of Mumbai. Our delegation is led by IOC member Mrs. Neeta Ambani, along with IOC member and president of the Indian Olympic Association, Dr. Narendra Batra. To begin proceedings, I would like to invite the First Lady of Indian sport, Mrs. Neeta Ambani. Mrs. Ambani is deeply committed to the elevating role sport and Olympism can play in our society.
It is truly an honor to lead the Indian delegation today and share our passion and our ambition for hosting such a prestigious Olympic event. This will be the first IOC session in India in 40 years. Since we last had the honor of welcoming the Olympic family, we have made consistent strides and grown into a more prosperous, more self-confident India. Throughout the pandemic, sport has been a source of hope, joy, entertainment, and motivation to the people around the world. As we enter the post-pandemic world with optimism, sport will continue to inspire us and lead us with its invaluable life lessons. With one foot rooted in our cultural traditions and the other leaping up to embrace modernity, India's next generation is brimming with 1 billion hopes and dreams, driven by the potential and the power of creative energy. I truly believe India is on the verge of creating something very special with the Olympic movement. Together with you, we want to open the doors of opportunity to millions of young Indians. It is time to write the future of sport and ignite our potential with the spirit of Olympism. India is scaling new heights in every field, including Olympic sport. Nearly half of India's population, over 600 million, are under 25 years of age. This makes India one of the most crucial and exciting places to nurture and grow the Olympic movement. Yes, it is our aspiration to host the Olympic Games in the future. The IOC session in 2023 in India will be a catalyst that will ignite this ambition into action. India is a melting pot of multiple cultures and incredible experiences. India is a journey you can't complete in one lifetime. With great joy, I invite you to begin your journey to incredible India.
The Indian government has a vision of India becoming one of the world's leading sporting nations. Our efforts to fulfill this vision are very well underway with several sports development programs across the country. Our talent pool is growing with the support of our robust education system and various government initiatives to elevate sport from a part-time passion to a full-time profession. It is my firm belief that the Olympic movement can help accelerate our vibrant nation in the right direction. Hosting the IOC session in 2023 will demonstrate our ambition and elevate the potential of our partnership. Rest assured that the Government of India will do everything in its power to ensure you have a wonderful experience during the session. So dear friends, I look forward to having the honor of welcoming you all to Mumbai in 2023.
In recent years, India as a nation has embraced sports and fitness. There is a strong belief that sports can provide fundamental shift in our society. We are already working with the government and the private sector, and I am pleased to report that the stakeholders share a commitment to make the IOC session in Mumbai a truly memorable experience.
All right, if India's exemplary performance at the recent Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics are anything to go by, we're on the cusp of ushering the next generation of Olympians, ably supported by a fantastic sports infrastructure. And in India, we have won the bid to host the next IOC session. It's a step in the right direction and one that testifies India's increasing influence in the global sports fraternity. Let me introduce my panelists on screen first. A very special panelist joining us on the broadcast, Anju Bobby George, Olympian, Senior VP, Athletics Federation of India. Thank you, Anju. Nice to have you on Republic. Malav Shroff, Olympian, President, Asian Sailing Federation. Thank you, Malav, for joining us on Republic TV. Let me also introduce Kamlesh Mehta, Arjuna Awardee, Director, Ultimate Table Tennis. Thank you, Kamlesh, for joining us on the broadcast. And Deepika Palikal Karthik, professional squash player. Thank you, Deepika, for joining us on Republic. Let me start with Anju. Anju, what a moment for India after 40 years. Let me get your first thoughts. Coming on the back of the Tokyo Olympics and India's performance, what does a moment like this coming after 4 decades signify to you, who's been an Olympian in the past?
Getting IOC session after 40 years to India, it means a lot for our Indian sports. And it's not only for development of our sport, it's a collective thing actually in tourism, in sports, in business. It will be a big jump in India and the entire world will be looking towards our country. And I think this is a stepping stone towards bidding Olympics in coming years. And I'm really happy as a sports person and as a coach, getting in Olympics in India is a dream for us. So I think this is just a beginning for that.
Yeah. Deepika, a significant moment for India to engage with the leading figures in the Olympic movement globally and showcase the country's progress as well. There's nothing that India lacks. We have ambition and we will someday find the rightful place in the Olympic movement and we will get there, isn't it?
Yes, I hope so. I think India is filled with talent. India doesn't, as you said, doesn't really lack anything. This session will open a lot of doors for Indian sport in general. Indian sport is on a rise right now, and it's unbelievable what the Indian athletes are doing. So I do hope, as Anju said, that we do get a chance to bid for the Olympics and hopefully cross that line as well.
Yeah. Okay, let me bring in Malav. Malav, how can India hosting the IOC session after 40 years become the focal point for a deeper and a more sustained connection with the Olympic movement globally?
So I think it's a very big major step of hosting the Olympic family, which has been, not concentrating on India, unlike the other Asian countries. We have seen Asia Olympics getting hosted in China, Japan, and Korea. So this is a major step for us to prove that we are a sporting nation. And as I think our sports minister said, that the vision of the government is to become a world leader in sport, and this is a major first step. So I should congratulate, Mrs. Neeta Ambani for putting in this effort, because it's not that easy with so many countries vying for such a major event as an IOC session. There are going to be a lot of different voting that is going to take place. So, trying to politically navigate the IOC and then getting this is a major steps. It shows that the IOC is committed to India.
Yeah. And I think anybody watching this broadcast or, reading the headlines of, this coming back to India after 40 years, the only thought that's on our mind, Anju, or let me put it to Kamlesh. Kamlesh, does this announcement also increase India's odds of hosting significant events like the Youth Olympic Games or the Olympic Games? Some of our panelists have spoken about it, but what is the significance of this?
First and foremost, I think it's a matter of great pride for all Indian sports person and everybody involved with sports industry. It's a great major step for heralding new sporting India. And I congratulate the ministry, Nita Ambani ji, and all the team members, IOA president, as well as the whole team. Now, India has conducted Asian Games twice. They have conducted Commonwealth Games. This is only one thing that needs to be added to India's cap. And we have proved to be very good organizers. I was present for 2010 Commonwealth as well as 2010 Asian Games. And if I have to compare, we have matched in every particular way. Our athletes in the last few years, I would say especially in the last 2 decades, have done us proud time and again. Our government has also increased the support. The private players are also now coming in, as we can see that a lot of private players are also doing. The things are absolutely perfect for us to take this major step, which will take Indian sports to the next level. And I am very happy, especially for Mumbai, that Mumbai has been selected because it's one city which has yet to host a major multi-sport event. And I am sure it will change the perspective of Mumbai as well as will be benefit for the players and also the residents of Mumbai.
Yeah. Anju, look at the role of some of our industry, if I can say that. Now, Nita Ambani's role, for example, the first ever Indian woman to be elected to the International Olympic Committee. She's been at the forefront of launching the sports development programs and the entire, Reliance family, for that matter, of youth across communities. So how does participation like this benefit the country's sporting culture? Does it add that boost that a country like India, like Deepika said earlier, I mean, you don't have any lack of talent, but you need that push, you need that investment. And how are these programs investing at the grassroots level and facilitating change?
During this crisis, actually, every nation, every country is struggling a lot, but we are bidding for our next Olympics. That means India is ready, and we have no problem about hosting even like Olympics. So Reliance Foundation, actually, they are helping in various ways. They have Reliance Sports Foundation, and through that they are supporting young kids. And I heard that in Mumbai they are planning a big project for sports. And we had many members in IOC before, but after Nida ma'am came into limelight, she was trying for this Olympics, she was trying for this IOC session, and I think it worked. And now we are able to host, and we are ready to host a big event like Olympics, and that will be a big boost, I'm sure, for our young generation. And this Olympics, actually, we got a lot of laurels, a lot of medals, and I think if anybody can imagine if even like Olympics, it comes to India, see, our kids will be like, they will be on top. I'm sure there will be many gold medalists, many silver medalists, many more medals. So what Nida ma'am and our minister and our IOA president, so they are doing a good job. It's a great job, and our Indian athletes, our entire country will be cherishing this moment forever.
Yeah. And Deepika, Olympics after Olympics and every sporting event, we've seen in India the interest in sports as a genre outside of cricket, outside of the main sort of, the eye-catching games, right? Look at what happened in Tokyo, building on the success of India's athletes. They're all become household names, right? You saw what happened in the Tokyo Olympics, the Paralympic Games even, where, we won the biggest haul of medals, likes of Neeraj Chopra, Mirabai Chanu, Ravi Kumar, Lavlina Borgohain. Now, you're also a known name. Now, when such events come to India, and when you know that India as a country is doing better with every big event, how do people look up to, sports as a genre. Do you think with such events coming in, with the change that's happening around, more and more kids, for example, will want to diversify into different, games?
Oh, definitely. I think now if you go to a badminton academy, or if you go to a tennis academy, or if you go to a hockey academy, it's full because people are actually believing that Indians can actually make a career out of any other sport other than cricket. And I think that's why we're doing so well, is because the government's been involved. We've had international coaches come down. We've had we've had enough funding to help the athletes go abroad and train. We've had foundations come in and support us. So I think, for a young kid to think that, the Olympics can happen in India one day, that is an unbelievable dream, to win a medal at home. So I think this if we do bid for an Olympics, but I'm saying the session itself is such an eye opener for all of us, because we know that India can host anything. India has the infrastructure, India has the funds, and India has the talent. And I'm very glad that this door is opened for us, and hopefully will open a lot more doors.
Yeah. Before I go across to Malav and Kamlesh, let me get Anju on this question. Anju, what we're also seeing is Indian women performing better and better at sports. And I think it's also a product of more children, reaching, the camps, for example, reaching out and getting better training, right? And we've seen women perform better and better with every Olympics. And how can we foster this environment that also ensures increased representation and hones their talent to compete on a global stage?
Our Indian women athletes are performing better in international level always, and we can see the difference. And I think that it's a dream come true for every Indian girls, because the opportunity what we are getting now, the government itself, our Prime Minister itself, is advocating for sports, advocating for the importance of doing any activities. So our parents are ready to send their athletes. And other than that, the projects like Hello India or Ministry's project or each federation's vision, see, we are trying to bring a lot of women, kids from remote villages, and they are into system, and they are till the Olympic level. They are able to train in a good atmosphere. And it was a struggle when I was an athlete. From the various corners, there were a lot of challenges. But now, if a kid is talented, then there are a lot of ways to come out. And even from the remote village, if they are good enough, so they can come out. There are a lot of systems, a lot of academies, and a lot of opportunities. So I think that is a difference, and the government itself is investing in sports, and our minister, our prime minister, our federations, SAI, and it's a collective effort from everyone. So that is the result. That's the ultimate result.
Yeah. And Malav, one aspect that we've seen which directly contributes also to perhaps better performance or better training for athletes is increased allocation for sports. And we've seen that allocation rise year after year in the recent budget. It's risen by nearly 305 crore, if I'm not wrong, in view to sort of help India's preparations. How much of this is needed, and how much more do our athletes need?
So I think the budget which has gone up is fantastic for us. But considering we are 1 billion people and there are 28 sports, the budget will have to go up significantly more. But the second part is how it is utilized. So in the last 4 years with the Mission Olympic Cell and the Target Olympic Podium, the efficiency of using this budget also has gone up. So it's both, not only the budget, but how we utilize this professionally. And that has been a significant change to the sportsmen, as Anju mentioned. Now people are feeling more confident going into the Olympics. And I think this IOC session is a reflection of New India and the youth. Because 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when we went to the Olympics, it was more for participation. Today, all the Indian athletes are going to win. And that's a major change in the attitude that we see in our sportsmen, but also in the country. And I think this is what we're going to do is showcase to the world, the New India and the youth, of our country. And I think that's the message we need to give to the world.
Yeah. And Kamlesh, how are grassroots level training? And we've seen that private players have a big role to play in this, right? In grassroots sports development programs. How vital is it in enhancing the sporting ecosystem in the country? Here on Republic, we've had some fantastic stories. You know, once or twice a year, we do something called Proud to be Indian. So what we do then is we find out stories from different parts of the country of people beating all odds. There are some fantastic stories of, you know, some of the best athletes. Look at some of our stars from the Olympics. Look at Mirabai Chanu's story, Lovelina's story, right? And that tells you how important grassroots sports development is, isn't it?
Absolutely, what you said is right. Grassroots is the base, basically, for any sport. We talk of grassroots, so basically we're talking about schools, because I believe that the road to Olympic begins at school. And if you go to see the importance that we need to give at this level, because we need to have more and more children, and you can see these private players are doing a wonderful job. Government of India, frankly speaking, is the major contributor for sports. As you see, the budget year after year is increasing. The support to the top athletes is increasing. And athletes feel that, yes, we have somebody supporting us. But yes, government cannot do everything. So that's where we have these private players. Now, in the last 1 decade, we have got so many of NGOs and private players coming and supporting the top players of various sports, even events, etc. And that is where it's going to be a private and government, both hands together, will only take India to the next level. And grassroots level will require much more funding and much more efforts. In fact, China and table tennis is the best. They give their best coaches at the grassroots level, so the basics of the children are better. And now, if you go to see sports science support, which was totally unheard of during our time. This sports science support is actually helping us to select better talent, and whatever talent we have, we can nurture them to do better. And like Malav said, earlier it was participation, but now it is aspiration. All the players who are going for Olympics are getting to meet the top head of the country. That Prime Minister giving so much time was so inspiration for me to watch this. I am sure great inspiration to all the sports person. And if this is the way we are going, you can see India with many more medals in the coming years.
Absolutely. Fantastic. I think it's a good day for Indian sport, and hoping to, you know, grow further and further to more strengths to all our athletes, Anju Bobby George, Kamlesh Mehta, Malav and Deepika. Thank you for joining us on this special broadcast on Republic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.